Apple and Qualcomm heading into their latest legal battle, the two biggest players in the smartphone industry facing off today in a San Diego federal court. The trial will determine whether Qualcomm operates a modern chip monopoly and charges too much for licensing fees. Apple has accused the company of anti-competitive practices that have raised chip prices, restricted competition, and hurt customer choice. A lot of reports out today, guys, about how there's no love lost between Mollenkopf and Cook.
No, but we've been talking about and following this dispute for years now, of course. Remember, Apple, actually, it's the contract manufacturers for Apple who are the licensees who are not paying Qualcomm, and that has amounted to billions in unpaid license fees for the use of the chip. But Jim, we've gone back and forth. You and I have covered this both. We've done so many interviews with both parties, in fact, and spoken to them so many times. It's hard to get a sense as to whether is there still the possibility of a settlement on the so-called courthouse steps? You get jury selection today. You could have opening statements as soon as tomorrow, I suppose. Yep. I still hear that there is the possibility of a settlement, but we'll have to see.
Well, the article referenced my interview with Tim Cook, where Tim basically said, hey, these guys are not to be trusted. We're not going to deal with these guys. No. Having settled a lawsuit on the courthouse steps, it was a 6-year lawsuit where I certainly didn't see it coming. And if you had interviewed me about it, I would have said, over my dead body settlement, it's always possible for anything. And that was 24 hours after I said it, I settled. And I had no intention of settling. So, you don't know because they don't know. That's the one way I look at it. They don't know. Neither side knows what the other side may come with at the last minute. So yeah. I know that there is no love lost. But there's no love lost between anyone in complex litigation.
No, there isn't. There's more at stake here for Qualcomm. For Apple, certainly if they were to lose, it will be potentially costly to them, but it's Apple. For Qualcomm, you're talking about the central construct of their business. And if they were to lose, not just in terms of whatever a jury might be and whether you get trebling of damages, who knows, all those kinds of possibilities, but more importantly, it would go to the heart of their business, the linking of licensing fees to the chips, what the license fees could be. Everybody would get potentially lowered. I don't know. Jim, I'm not going to speculate, but it just seems that there's a lot more at stake for them.
Qualcomm's balance sheet, what do you think? Dividend, what do you think? Everything up in the air.
It puts a lot up in the air. By the way, they're still waiting to hear from the FTC. That judge who was supposed to have ruled some time ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, even more.
I know, but that is a really good point because I thought the FTC case was very solid for Apple. But
they were.
I listened to both sides.
I think there was fear on the part of Qualcomm that it might go against them. That said, their importance in 5G, the administration's embrace of 5G from a national security perspective, are you really going to have a federal judge sort of penalize, if not put to the sideline, one of the key companies in 5G? So how that all works into it is unclear at this point, but we're still waiting on the FTC.
I know people who think this is the biggest thing that's going to come down in tech in ages, because this has been the most long-running, most really just ugly.
Oh, nasty.
You talk to them, it's like ugly. There's no common ground here.
No, nasty. Tim Cook and the other guys, and then they hired definers, Qualcomm. There's just
false news. Was in charge
stuff going on.
There was in charge of fake news.
Yeah. Yeah.
And meanwhile, Jim, Apple well off the highs of last week, but setting a nice pace for the year, as we know, right?
Yes.
And hanging above the 200-day.
It's been downgraded a couple times. Yeah. I continue to go with Katie Ubry saying service revenue is stronger.
We actually have the New Street analyst on the 11 today.
You have the New Street
analyst, yes.
That was
went to reduce on Friday, was it?
I thought it was a cul-de-sac. It's a New Street. Really hurt to stop.